Hey everyone, welcome to this new video from Mobility Field Day 7. We're here live in Santa Clara, where we just met with a bunch of different presenters. In this video, we're talking about Fortinet as they actually talk to us about a lot of new different features that they are integrating with their platform. So there was a lot to take in. I mean, it is Forti everything.
Yeah.
They have an end-to-end solution. Anything you can imagine, Fortinet has it. But in this presentation, I think the first thing we want to talk about is the FortiLink NAC, because that is I think NAC seems to be an interesting topic for many of these companies as they try to secure their networks. So it makes sense that Fortinet has it, and they're including it into their Fortigate models. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because when we think about Fortinet, we often think about security, but like you said, they actually have an impressive line of products, and every time they come to Mobility Field Day, they present all of the offering, including Wi-Fi. So they have Wi-Fi, obviously.
And it's about adding security to the Wi-Fi network.
Yeah, but adding security, and they have like a security. They call it security-driven networking. I think that's a phrase, marketing phrase. But they actually have security built in. So you mentioned the FortiLink NAC.
FortiLink NAC.
FortiLink NAC, sorry. But they also have two model of APs that they talked about.
That's right,
yeah. They have the Forti APs, and then have the Forti APUs, which integrate a UTM, Unified Threat Management system inside the AP, which provides more security, but at the AP level, which is not something we see on other APs.
Right. Yeah, a lot of these security solutions are down at the edge, like at the firewall, or a separate piece of a component that gets added to the network. Yeah. But here, if we start at the FortiLink NAC, it is native to the FortiGate firewall. I guess you need to be on minimum FortiOS 7.0, I believe is what it is. But it allows you to tie certain policies to devices that connect to your network. So obviously everyone's connecting to Wi-Fi. You want to secure your Wi-Fi network, any IoT devices that are connecting, and the FortiLink NAC within the firewall can help build those policies and isolate devices and put security posturing there. Yeah, so it has things like device detection. You can do device inventory. It's pretty good for a Fortigate because it's actually at no cost.
Yeah, it's super nice for people who already have a Fortigate, and they want to just deploy it on the network, or they're not too sure which solution to go for. But they already have the hardware there. And that's actually one thing that they talked about is the FortiOS. So talking about the fact that they're trying to integrate the OS on their platforms, so they can be a little bit more flexible in where they deploy, their different solutions. And they can actually deploy a lot of things on the FortiGate. So one thing they talked about as well as part of Wi-Fi is they have a wireless controller that runs on the FortiGate.
On the FortiGate itself. So you can consolidate a lot of different components into a single appliance and still not have a big performance hit on that appliance. That is actually something that's interesting for a lot of people as they want to minimize their equipment footprint. They don't really want a lot of hardware on premises anymore. Everything is in the cloud, so why should I have to maintain a firewall, a separate NAC appliance, a separate wireless controller? It's all built into the FortiGate.
Yeah, and alongside with the FortiLink NAC, that's it. They talk about another product that they introduced last time at the last Mobility Field Day, which is the AIOps, the Forti AIOps, where they're trying to actually get more insights from the network equipment, the FortiGates and the wireless clients, and then try to get some insights on how the Wi-Fi is doing. So they're trying to bring some intelligence on all of these logs and information. One thing that I found was interesting is instead of doing it in the cloud like everyone else, they do it locally on an appliance.
That's different. Yeah. And I think that generated a little bit of discussion because a lot of other companies are really trying to do this in the cloud to gather all of this data, aggregate it, see these trends across the board and across different industries. But with Fortigate, this is on premises and it's just your data.
Yeah, exactly. So they talked about their journey or going to, you know, like a self-driving network type of story that we hear from other vendors as well. So they just presented where they're at today and, you know, what type of information you can get today from their AIOps platform, and it evolved quite a bit compared to, you know, what they had last time. So it was nice to see. And then another product they talked about was the FortiLAN Cloud. I think that's how they call it.
Yeah, FortiLAN Cloud.
Which is their cloud offering. So if you don't have a Fortigate, let's say, but you still want to deploy a Wi-Fi from Fortinet, you can install your APs. And their APs, they'll try to do, you know, network discovery to see if there's a FortiGate. But if they don't find any, they can also just try to find the FortiLAN Cloud automatically. So you don't need like to buy different APs or different mode of APs. You just connect the AP to the network, and depending on how you want to manage them, cloud or FortiGate, they automatically will find, you know, what you're using, which I found was pretty nice.
Yeah, the flexibility that Fortinet offers to their customers is it allows you to start small, and then as you scale your network, you can do that with Fortinet. They're not going to, you know, leave you high and dry just because you've kind of grown out of that
change
model.
Your APs.
Yeah, or change AP models. So you can manage your APs on the FortiGate firewall, or you can manage them within the FortiLAN Cloud. And there are actually two different tiers for the FortiLAN Cloud. So there's with licensing with Fortinet, it's a lot more simpler. There's a free tier, which allows you to even manage 3 Forti switches for 3 of them, 7 days of log retention, and a max of 30 access points.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the license tier, beyond that, you go to another license tier, license per switch and per AP. So it's kind of like a unified management versus, you know, standalone management of all these devices. And I think that's just what a lot of people want nowadays. Simplicity of management of their devices, even across different sites, not having to log into every single device just because you need a change of VLAN.
And I think they support switches, if I recall properly.
Yeah, they have their own switches. They support switches in there.
In the FortiLAN Cloud. And it's also growing. I think the product will grow in the future. And we talked about APIs. They have RESTful APIs.
Yeah, they got REST APIs fully documented on their website.
Yeah.
I think a lot of their different products, the way they communicate is through the APIs. So I imagine that you should be able to even build your own dashboards if you need to. I mean, probably just start out just seeing what you can find with their dashboard. There's quite a lot of information and logs that they already gather.
And then they also, we also talked about documentation, because that's one of the feedback they had from last time from some of the delegates. So they actually worked on better Wi-Fi documentation. They have design guides, and things like this, and APs as well. So we talked about different APs. So they didn't have any 6 gigahertz APs.
Not yet.
So it's coming in the future. So we didn't talk too much about 6 gigahertz. But anyway, if you want to see all of the demos they did, feel free to watch the videos. Once again, it's on the YouTube channel from Tech Field Day. You can look for the Mobility Field Day playlist, and you'll see all of the recordings.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.